special edition of Frequency Matters, the RF and Microwave Update Series. I'm Pat Hindle. I'm here with my co-host Gary LaRude, and we have a special guest in the studio, Kevin Walsh, Mobile Products Marketing Director at Skyworks. Welcome.
Hey guys, morning.
So Skyworks has been involved in mobile products for many years, been a leader in the industry from IoT to cellular products. What are some of the trends you're seeing in the market today, and how is Skyworks addressing those?
I got to just tell you, it's such a dynamic marketplace. If you look back what we were doing, 5 years ago, 10 years, totally different today. Well entrenched in standards, that's become a big item lately. So when we saw the disruption going to 5G, we really got involved in not only going or attending, but really trying to drive the standards committee. We saw the movement towards the front end became more complex. So all the systems work really is a collaboration between us, OEMs, and chipset vendors now. And it's really kind of, we talk about platforms 2 years before they're even launched. So it's really an exciting time to be in the front end space. Skyworks really can contribute because we can take the products, we can scale them, and get solutions ready ahead of time. Pre-standard, if you will, and that's been a big change that I've seen over the last 10 years.
So we're hearing a lot of buzz, as you noted, about 5G and a lot of talk about handsets about to come out. What can you tell us about the emergence of handsets with the sub-6 gigahertz performance?
So I got to tell you, so very quick changes in the market for 5G. I would say LTE Advanced Pro is really where we're at right now. So we're starting to see, inclusion of 4x4 MIMO, higher order modulation, really trying to enhance the user experience, videos and streaming data, things like that. So that's really been kind of where the industry's at. And now we're at this very big disruption curve going to 5G. That really is going to change quite a bit, and it's going to change both on the front end and the whole ecosystem. So from a 5G perspective, if you looked at 2G to 3G, that was very much improvement in the telecom. It was improvement in the smartphone, getting the data rates up. The click from 4G to 5G is very disruptive, and I think we don't, as an industry, kind of get that yet, but it really gets you involved in more market verticals. So you're going to start to see, your car is going to look like a flagship smartphone on wheels, right? Your IoT, your sensor markets are going to be out in the market. So it's really more of a cohesive ecosystem trying to drive data from, every little sensor out there all the way to, mobile communications, whether that's, mobility as we understand it today, or even things that we don't even think about today, industrial automation, things like that. 5G is going to be, the enabler to get there. So much improvement in the performance, but it's also going to take the complexity and scale that up quite a bit too.
And so I think to the surprise of many people, the first two implementations of 5G in the US are going to be millimeter wave technology. How do you see that outlook for millimeter wave technology, and how will it affect the design of the handset?
I think one of the things you just have to kind of embrace is all spectrum is going to be used, whether it's below a gigahertz, up to 6 gigahertz, or millimeter wave. And it really just depends on each operator and each region what's kind of allowed by regulatory environment. In the US, you kind of in the position where millimeter waves are actually advantageous for the operators. These guys will find the business case, and they will monetize spectrum that they've purchased. So we're here just to enable that. It puts a level of complexity on the front end, but it's one that we're have the capability to accept that challenge.
Well, it seems like that will really drive the integration, right down to the antenna, and all the module has to be together in one little chip.
Yeah, if you look at millimeter wave, it's very different than your sub-6 gigahertz architecture. So the architectures that we know, from cellular side really change and disrupt as you go to millimeter wave. So you start to think of more fan-out architectures. Your antenna array is integral to your chipset. So you really have to co-design that to be successful. And those are areas and activities that we think we can bring expertise from both the systems, semiconductor, and the packaging together in a single solution.
So you have talked about for some time now your Sky 5 portfolio. Can you tell us a little bit about that, what's in it, and how it addresses the 5G system?
So I'll go back to the comments that I made that 5G is really, it's where the market explodes into multiple market verticals. So it's not only telecoms, it's medical applications, industrial applications, automotive applications. So in the same vein, we've kind of made Sky 5 the same thing, where it's an umbrella of products. It's not one product. If you looked at Sky 1, we kind of embodied that as a very highly integrated front-end product. You need to think about 5G in a different paradigm. The number of different products will be very substantial. So you'll have sub-6 gigahertz devices. We also have products where we have LTE refarming and 5G in the same package. So we've got to kind of work through that. And then finally, you're going to have millimeter wave. So these are all new complexities. And I think the other issue is, from a system perspective, we have to work with multiple radios in the same time. So you have a 4G system, a 5G system. You're going to have mobile connectivity, whether it's Bluetooth, WLAN, all on at the same time. So it really does put the onus on the front-end vendors and the ecosystem to come through and really design them so they're robust and can meet the requirements, not just of the US or Europe or Asia, but you have to make that a global solution. So it takes a lot of work up front, and that's a lot of the activities that we're doing. And we try to embody that into cellular and into our Sky 5. So whether it's cellular V2X, whether it's IoT module for LTE-M, whether it's a PAMID or a DRX for sub-6 gigahertz, we take the same systems approach to that and really try to make sure we're taking into all the radios into account.
And as you look at 5G, what do you think kind of differentiates Skyworks in this space?
Yeah, I think the bar has been raised from a technology perspective, and I think in the days of being good at a PA or being good at LNA, that's really behind us now, and we're really looking forward. And it's front-end solutions, but it's a complete solution, complete TX, complete RX, and connectivity. And that's across all standards, but it's also across all frequencies. I remember all spectrum has to be utilized. The operators have invested a lot of money into spectrum. They need to monetize it and utilize it. And different use cases will make different uses of the spectrum they have. So it's on us to really make sure that we can be effective in doing that. It really comes together, and you have to have packaging, you have to have semiconductor know-how, you have to have systems know-how. It's really elevated our game. We've had to elevate our game, and we've been investing to do that over quite some time.
Well, you certainly have been very successful over all the prior generations of cellular, and it seems to me that your system engineering capability really kind of comes to the fore now with 5G.
I'm extremely proud of the investments we've made in systems engineering. I think that really has been a differentiator for us. I think it's validated in the discussions we can have with OEMs, with operators. Our teams are deployed in the field, they're out there engaging. We're being tasked from operators across the globe to help on their spectrum analysis. That's one of the areas where it really differentiates Skyworks, is that investment in systems has enabled us to really separate ourselves from some of our competition.
So you have quite an array of products. Where can people find out more information about them?
So on our website, we have a Sky 5 landing page. So our customers can go there and start to investigate. So we'll have white papers. We've done a white paper early on, 2017. We just refreshed it with a new update. And it's interesting if you just compare them to see, what we thought was going to happen, how that evolved, and how, we're starting to get more clarity on what 5G is, and probably do a follow-up next year just to really hone in on it. But it is interesting. The change has been very evolutionary. First we were talking about 3 5G bands in TDD, and now we're talking millimeter wave, sub 1 gigahertz, sub 3 gigahertz. It's really changed, morphed over that time, and we expect more changes as we go on. We have some videos that are a little bit quicker to get key highlights. Those are pretty good as well. We're starting to really add into that ecosystem, so you can kind of come up to speed and learn 5G as it comes online.
Well, this is going to be an exciting time in the industry, and Kevin, we appreciate you coming by and sharing some of your enthusiasm.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.